All right, let's get right into it. Deep, deep in the Sierra Nevada mountains of Colombia, there's this place that's just shrouded in mist and mystery. It's an ancient city full of stone terraces, tiled roads, and these incredible circular plazas. They call it Ciudad Perdida, the lost city. And its story, well, it's an unbelievable journey through time. And just to put this into perspective for you right away, this amazing site was probably founded way back around 800 AD. Now, here's the mind-blowing part. That makes Ciudad Perdida something like 650 years older than the world-famous Machu Picchu. I mean, think about that. This is a truly ancient wonder of the Americas. But for centuries, this city was just gone, completely swallowed by the jungle, hidden from the outside world. And its rediscovery? It wasn't some big planned archaeological mission. Not at all. It was a complete accident. The story itself sounds like something straight out of a movie script. So back in 1972, a family of local treasure looters, the Sepulvedas, were just out hunting. They shot a turkey, and when they went to go find it, they literally stumbled upon a stone staircase climbing right up the side of the mountain. So they followed it, and at the top, they found this entire abandoned city. Their nickname for it? The pretty grim Green Hell. So, okay, let's just map this out. The city was originally founded by the Tairona people around 800 AD. It was a thriving community for centuries, and then abandoned. Silence for hundreds of years. Then you fast forward to 1972, and the Sepulvedas find it. But it actually wasn't until 1976 that archaeologists officially got to the site, and that was only after gold figures and ancient pottery started showing up on the black market. But here's the thing. Calling it a lost city really depends on who you're talking to. Because for the local indigenous communities who've lived there forever, this sacred place was never, ever lost. The descendants of the city's builders, especially the Kogi people, have always said they knew about this place. They call it Teyuna. To them, it wasn't some forgotten ruin. It was, and it still is, the spiritual heart of their ancestral land. And this really shows you the two different perspectives, right? Ciudad Perdida is the name from outsiders, from the looters and archaeologists, a name that's all about something being gone and then found again. But Teyuna, now that's a name of connection, of continuous presence, of it being the very center of everything. So to really get a feel for the scale of this place, you first have to understand the journey just to get there. I mean, before you even step foot inside the city itself, you have to climb this many stone steps, 1,200 steps. And just look at that. Those 1,200 steps wind their way up and up through this incredibly thick jungle. It's just a raw, physical reminder of the sheer effort it took to build this place, to live here, and now to even visit this amazing, isolated marvel. You know, back in its heyday, Teyuna was a buzzing hub. It had 169 terraces carved right into the mountain, all linked up by a whole network of tiled roads. This was the political and manufacturing center for the Tairona civilization, home to thousands and thousands of people. And what's truly incredible is seeing the past and the present right next to each other like this. On the left, you've got the incredible, lasting work of the Tairona. And on the right, that's a modern-day Kogi shaman, a direct descendant of the very people who built and lived on those terraces over 1,000 years ago. That connection is completely unbroken. But the story of this city's return to the modern world is not just about archaeology. For decades, the entire region became a flashpoint for violence, which basically cut it off from the world all over again. During the Colombian armed conflict, this super remote area became a battleground. You had left-wing guerrilla groups like the FARC and the ELN, right-wing paramilitary groups like the AUC and the Colombian National Army, all fighting for control of this strategic bit of territory. The danger became terrifyingly real for the rest of the world in 2003. The ELN guerrilla group kidnapped 8 foreign tourists who were hiking to the city. They held them hostage for 3 months. I mean, that event just immediately shut down all tourism and showed everybody just how volatile the region really was. And it's so important to understand the human cost here. This number, around 8,000, is the estimated number of direct victims of paramilitary violence in this region alone. The conflict left these incredibly deep scars on the land and, of course, on its people. But after decades of all that violence and isolation, a new chapter of peace and cooperation finally started to dawn for Teyuna and all the communities living around it. So by 2005, security had gotten a lot better, enough for tourist hikes to start up again. And today, The Colombian army is actively there, patrolling the area, making sure it's safe for visitors so the world can once again experience this absolutely incredible place. And this reopening, it came with a totally new philosophy. Today, the site is managed through this pretty remarkable partnership. You've got government bodies, international nonprofits, and this is the most important part, the indigenous communities themselves. They now play an active role in making the decisions. And this, right here, just shows how the story has come full circle. The indigenous people, who were always the ancestral guardians of this land, are now at the very center of its preservation. They are the keepers of both the physical site and all that priceless ancestral knowledge, which is so perfectly symbolized here by this ancient stone map that was found in the city. So when we look at these mists rolling over the terraces of Teyuna, we're not just looking at some old ruins. We're actually seeing a story of survival, of loss, of terrible conflict, and then, finally, of a collaborative and hopeful revival. You know, the story of Ciudad Perdida leaves us with a really important question, one that applies to heritage sites all over the planet. As we keep uncovering these amazing pieces of our shared human history, how do we make sure that we're protecting them and respecting them, not just as cool places to visit, but as living heritage for all the generations still to come?